Morning, morning. Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. If you're just tuning in, this segment of my channel is all about talking about stocks and what I'm doing in a public portfolio and full transparency. First of all, I'm not a certified financial advisor. I just been sharing the what I've been doing, decade and some change in the stock market. And of late, my primary job, my primary company is in branding consultant, Own It Entertainment. But some of my clients, friends, family members from the business, from my life, from my ecosystem, has asked me about how else am I making money and etc. etc. So basically, like I said, I've been trading since I was living in Dubai. I'm originally from Dubai, and I moved to the US in 2019. Long story short, I got into the market 2015, and the first stock that I picked up in back in Dubai and with Swiss code was Facebook when it was Facebook as in ticker symbol as well, and the company name, right? So I remember picking it up for about under $90 a share. And those were the days where I couldn't buy fractional shares. So I had to pick up a full share. Obviously, the rules are different now in Dubai, in UAE. You can even buy fractional shares. And I know this because I've actually guided my brother who's also joining this journey, and I'm really proud of him for doing so. So the brokerage that I informed him about is investment IBK, investment brokerage. I don't know what the K stands for, but that's what the company is. And if you want to know more about that, reach out to me. I know the fundamentals, the clauses. If you want to trade in the US market and buy fractional shares from that part of the world, the Gulf, let me know in the chat. Um, but yeah, so moving ahead, so when people used to ask me like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Blah blah blah, and I'm like, "This is what I'm doing." And I, instead of replying to everybody on WhatsApp and the Discord group, it was just, and then you get iMessage. It's just getting a bit chaos. And then um, I advise for certain clients, and I've been advising them. They hire my services to basically develop R&D, their brand, their company. One of the segments I tell them is that today we can make more creativity, more good noise on sharing, and that's what I'm doing with. And one of yes, I like to make videos about my experience as well on this channel, but this segment is basically about the public portfolio and what I'm doing in the stock market, and a tiny bit about crypto. I'm in crypto as well, but um, you know, there's more money in because I've been training in the stock market longer, right? And like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. So if you guys have been tuning in into this segment of the channel, you know that I was buying in red. And the reason that I was buying in red is because that's when you really make your gains, your money, you really see it's a scary time to buy because the market's down. But when you do buy and at that time, and good stocks and stock that you believe in, brands, companies you believe, etc., you really realize that, and you believe in it. You do your due diligence, your own research, and you're like, oh my god, like this is you know I buy Amazon goods every day, every week, blah blah blah. So why wouldn't I invest in the company? And that's how I'm trying to. I wish I could speak to my 20-year-old person and say, Jeremy, start doing this instead of going to a club, eating junk food, not taking care of your health. Because I'm also, this channel's about me like trying to get back into shape. I've had like a knee surgery, not now, but like in 2000, I want to say 18, if I'm not mistaken, from football, from soccer. So yeah, so health numero uno, in my opinion. There's no point of having all the money in the world, or having whatever money you have, like, and it's a great amount according to you or whatever, right? But you got to be aligned. Health comes hand in hand, in my opinion, my perspectives. Jumping to the portfolio. So, like I said, if you've seen this portfolio was like literally like it was not active. So I opened it with someone who wanted to get into XRP, and I said, like, I'm in XRP at like I think it's 77 cents, one of the buys, and I've been accumulating on Coinbase. So I just showed him how to buy XRP, and I bought a lot of XRP at a time. Again, what's a lot? I mean, for a start, because he went in at the same amount and I went in the same amount, and obviously my XRP position I've reduced in Robinhood and bought more of the other stock in the portfolio, in the public portfolio on Robinhood. And the reason I did that because I moved recently, and a lot of expenses goes from relocating. So I moved from New York to Florida. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, or in that area, um, etc., etc. But I want to keep my liquid cash when the market really tanks. Now I don't know when it's going to tank. It was down a couple of months ago, and it was a great opportunity because I believe in the companies that I buy, and I do my research, and I speak to the right people, and I connect with the right, you know, like I always say, net worth is your net worth, right? So my circle is basically people in their 30s and people in their 70s as well, and I'm speaking to these people who are like some of them are way above, some on the same level. Some of them are coming into the game with a lot of liquid, and some of their portfolios are like 5, 10, 15 million dollars, right? Their portfolios. Anyway, getting back to this, so you got to do what's best for you, right? You can even start with like $5, $10. Like there are companies out there even which have this peak level that are going to grow up. Again, all my opinion, what I'm doing, right? So, bang, here's the public portfolio as of today. I thought I fixed this autofocus. I took it out, but let me just put it here, right? So that's what it is. I have no clue why it's still not focusing. But you can see the number, right? 7197. If you go back and you see, maybe I got to cover my face because that's usually a trick, right? As you can see, I'm really authentic and raw. There's no script. This is live. So that's the amount at this point in time. If you go back and watch my first video, I think it was like 5 grand this portfolio. And honestly, I like the only I must put in a couple hundred, but I got into these stocks, which I'll tell you which ones when they were low, and I converted some of the XRP. So XRP in the public portfolio is really down, and it was down. Why is this not happening? Give me a second, guys. Let's take a standard focus. I'm not going to give it. Is it trying to do its thing? I don't know. It's so weird. Anyway, like it's down in the portfolio. It's negative 175. So the average cost in this portfolio for XRP is 184. That's $1.84. Currently, XRP is 1494, and it's up. I mean, if you look at the candlesticks. So I got XRP. I've got a good amount of good bags in Coinbase in my XRP. Again, this channel is about stocks, and I really feel like in stocks there's more meaning behind it because I've been doing it longer, right? Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, so don't quote me. Do your due diligence. Going to the stocks, if you look at the portfolio right now compared to the last weeks or the weeks before and a couple of weeks, there's only two in red. And if you guys go back to videos, everything was in red. Forget the crypto, but everything, right? So, like I remember the SaaS stocks, which were really hitting Adobe and Salesforce, also known as CRM, were like crazy down. Man, what the hell is happening? Will it focus here? So if you can see, it's like 32 down Adobe, and CRM is 28 and some change, right down. I'm not buying anymore. So I only like to buy when the market's down because I see the gains. And in the public portfolio, let me read out the names. I'll take a screenshot and post on it later on. So I'm in SoFi, I'm in American Express. So those are the two banking sectors that I'm in the public portfolio. I'm also in the financial apps, so Coinbase, Hood in this portfolio. Like if you look at Coinbase right now, it's 212, right? On 212, sorry. I've made about $58, right? I'm sorry, I'm not saying anything because I'm trying to focus on I want this to focus. It used to. So the weird thing is that I actually started using the Logitech webcam that I found in somewhere. One of these guys, Brio, and it's 4K, and it's definitely clearer than the internal webcam or the camera on the thing. But I have no idea why it's not catching, because when I show this, I can see it's really focusing on it. And I took out the manual focus, as in the autofocus. I put it on manual. So should I? Wait, hold on. Since you guys are live, let me see if I can change the setting right now. Give me a sec. If you guys know how to fix this, honestly, I'm like a, where do I go? Camera settings, focus. What if I do 78? Wow. Okay, that just changed everything. Focus. Because it was on autofocus, which is crazy. Let me see if this helps. Hold on. So I want to test it out like this. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Give me a sec. Okay, so what are we doing? Focus. Do you see that? How it changed? There we go. Okay, so let's just stick with this for now. Okay, great. So going back to Coinbase, right? It's currently 213. Um, I have 1.2 shares in this public portfolio. It's so if you do the math, like my average cost was 164, $59. I'm 30% and some change up. That's like mad. That's like, so if you have like money, liquid cash sitting uh in a bank and it's not giving you anything, that's crazy, right? Now I'm out of focus. So anyway, let me just show you these and then we'll go back to fixing my focus, right? So yeah, if you're in if your money's in dude, this is it's driving me nuts, to be honest. Like, so if your money sat in a checking account or a saving account and in bank, and whether it's 500, 10,000, 100,000 more, like, because when I say, like, I know people who, when they hit a certain threshold, and I'm speaking from experience, we just come to know about these things and we take advantage of these things, right? Like a high yield account and uh, stuff like that, right? So my current bank, HSBC, and I only have bank with HSBC because of Global Bank, and I moved over from Dubai to HSBC here, and they currently give me 3.4 or 3.5, but an American bank, SoFi Bank, not your traditional bank. And what I mean by that, it's doesn't there's no branches, it's fully online, right? They give you currently 4. I think I got it when it was like under 4 a bit, but put some of your liquid cash in a high yield account. That's my opinion. My suggestion, because I do that. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but you make money. Like, it's otherwise, yes, it's not much. It's not 30% like this. Coinbase does. And the funny thing is that I'm a Robinhood Gold member. They're saying currently that again, this focus. Let me just read it out. So they have these stats online here. Let me just. I got to learn how to do this. Okay, let me go back to the camera. Right. So in Robinhood, they show you this. Okay, on gold. So it's $5 a month, right? And Morningstar is like a data research analyst. They're saying fair value is 160, uncertainty very high. The stock right now is 213. Is the stock high? According to them, yeah, 100%. Right? Hood, Robinhood, because I use Robinhood on the public portfolio, is $92, right? Five bucks up. Look at the candle, by the way, right? 12% up, $47. Those are the shares that I'm holding in Robinhood. Average cost is 82. Market value, you can see what it is in the public portfolio. Let's see what Morningstar has to say about Robinhood on Robinhood. Where are we going? Let's go. Okay, there's no rating of it. That's kind of weird. But these are the other stats that they show you. 76 people, 76.6% people are buying, 16.7 holding, 6.7 sell. So again, I'm not a trader. I'm an investor, and the reason why I say that, because I'm here for a long term, right? I'm not. I don't like trading. I've tried it before. Hats off to everyone who does it, but I'm not a trader. I'm an investor and a long term investor. So far, American Express in banking. That's what I am in the public portfolio. Coinbase, Hood, the apps of trading. That's what I am in this. I'm also have like ETF, VOO, and the reason why I say that is because that's the foundation of my portfolio, especially in my private portfolio. My largest positions are in BOO, QQQ, VOG, VTI, and some of these duplicate in terms of like similarities, only because I've been trading, investing in the market for since 2015. Um, I am self-taught. I've had listened and heard and got advice from the people that who've been doing it from that on. But I've also learned from myself, right? Like I have Apple products, so I invested in Apple at a very early stage. So I'm accumulating the companies that I feel are good, uh, and I look at the stats, the research, right? Last week I got out of my Tesla. I'm no longer invested in Tesla, and only because I have nothing about anyone. Like I'm not political or religious, or in I don't get into that in terms of in my personal life or whatever. That's different. But when I say these things, I don't get into when it comes to my money, right? My wealth. So am I chasing hype? Not really, but back then when I was younger, there was FOMO. But again, because I was forced to buy a share of a company, not fractional shares, back in Dubai, I bought companies and invested companies that I knew of, right? So the public portfolio is basically there are the only duplicates in the public portfolio are like Nvidia and all. But again, I just bought Nvidia when I met up with a friend of mine who's like, "How do I buy this? Blah blah blah." Can you show me? And I showed him. So some of these stocks are like 1.32 in Nvidia. Nvidia is currently at 200 in the public portfolio, right? And it's already made me 24 bucks a year, which is about 10%, right? In the public portfolio. Now, I wanted to share, look at this. When we saw this video was, or the stream, it was 7-1, it's 7-2-10 now. Like, that's crazy. Just today, I made $167 just today, right? Just today. And it's 10:44, it's not even 11 Eastern time, right? So guys, like, people ask me when is the right time. There's no right time. Just if you get in today, start accumulating. I wouldn't, if I had to, so this segment of this channel is basically saying if I had to get in the market today, this is what I'm doing, right? As a newbie, as a virgin, or whatever you want to call it, amateur, blah, 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 right? So I would buy the companies that I feel that are going to be there for the next 5-10 years, and give me that peak gain, right? So I'm going to read out the names that I am, because if I show it to you, I don't know if it's going to focus again. But it's SoFi, American Express, Hood, Coinbase, that is, VOO, SCHD, Microsoft, Apple, what's that one? Google, Nvidia, Meta, Adobe CRM, which are in red, those two SaaS stocks, SPMO, ETF, ServiceNow, which is a SaaS stock, but it's in green. Golf, which is a golf, basically sporting. If you're in, I mean, it's to do with golf. Amazon, Nike, and what's the last one? Bull, Webull, right? Now, My idea or my game plan, not an idea, it's gonna happen, is to make this to hit 10K ASAP. How am I doing that? So I'm buying when these stocks are bleeding. And when I say bleeding, like the public portfolio, if my average cost is like less than, so like if I bought a stock of $100 and it's now $50, I would put in amounts, smaller amounts. So I wouldn't just put in 50 or another 100. And in the public portfolio, I'm only talking about, right? And the reason why I'm doing that, because if a knife is falling and it keeps on falling, I don't know how far that knife's going to fall. So when a stock is bleeding, I like to just accumulate. So like if a stock is bought at 100, for example, and it falls to 50, I'll buy some. Now, it also depends how much I have invested in this stock in the public portfolios. So I'll buy amounts. You got to come up with the number that which works for you, right? Whether it's a percentage or whatever, you got to say, look, if the stock's 100, first of all, what's your goal? What's your aim, right? Do you want to accumulate 10 shares, 50 shares, 1,000 shares? And for me, there's no get rich fast scheme or anything. Like you got to look at these stocks, do your due diligence, go online, see what's happening. Try not to listen to like the news and the noise and all. You can, again, this is just my experience and my reason about these things, but you got to like filter what you need to take out of it to make your wealth happen, right? And then again, it's also great to speak to the right people. Like I'll put out a video every day, which I'm trying to do, maybe not on the weekends, but I'm trying to do every day as well, just letting you know what I'm doing. So if it guides you, helps you, assists you, just some sort of knowledge. Like I said, I'm not a certified advisor. I'm just sharing what I've been doing, right? And what I'm doing in the public portfolio, as if someone just jumped in the market right now, right? And like I said, the public portfolio is like I'm trying to hit people who are in their 20s, 30s, who like want to get into trading, because I'm in my 40s, right? I want to be the first person in my family where it's not a trophy that I want. It's not like a title. I just want to be able to. I love helping people. If you know me, I like doing it. I love people also helping me because it level ups my game, right? So, but there's no point of me living on this earth and I'm not motivating, I'm not sharing the good recipe to make a good meal, right? Because and also I'm very open minded. I would like, oh wow, you're gonna doing this, oh, you went to this restaurant, was it great? I'm gonna try it out. Thank you for the tip. So that this is what this part of this channel is also the if you see my other videos on the channel, it's like I'm going here, I'm doing this very like it's just me and my life, like this is me, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? uh, but yeah, so when you look at when stuff falls, I buy, and I buy companies, not just Tom and Jerry companies or whatever, like actual companies that I done my research and I'm like, okay, Amazon, like the one stock that I'm gonna accumulate and accumulate. There's no like fixed number how many shares I want, is Amazon, right? And I say this because it's the biggest online retailer in the world. Whether they have some stores which have recently closed down, which is that, what do they call Amazon Go? You get in, it's like a deli or grocery or little bodega or whatever. I've been to a couple of them. It's cool, but I don't think that's their bread, right? Um, so but AWS, their cloud data, and et cetera, et cetera. So like for me, if I had kids and my kids had kids, I feel that's the stock they would buy at this point in time, right? I can't tell you what's going to happen 50 years from now, but like I'm buying Amazon for the next 10 years. That's my game plan. I'll keep on buying it, and that's to do with the private portfolio, right? So uh have look at the market, get into a place that you want to get into, like I tell my wife Sophie, like so when I the reason why I mentioned her, because she's in this industry, and my private portfolio is diverse. So you want to have a diverse portfolio, and you don't want to be in everything. You want to have a good handful of stocks where you're accumulating, in my opinion, right? So what I mean by that, like how I just told you, I'm in the public portfolio. There's banking, there's tech, there's also like financial app uh, sectors in this, right? Um, what else are we in? What else do we say? Let me just open the app again. So we're in, what's this? Sorry, guys. So we're in banking, we're in the financial apps, we're in ETFs. So, the S&P 500, this thing, of course, Microsoft, in sport, so in golf, in SaaS stocks, Nike, garments, shoes, so that apparel industry. So it's not as diverse as my private portfolio. And what I mean about diversity when it comes to your portfolios is that during COVID, I was buying a lot of stocks. I was accumulating more shares in my stocks, right? And I bought certain companies which were new to the portfolio, which were really down. But I believed I did my due diligence, my research, looked at the data online, looked at the charts, spoke to my mentors, spoke to my friends who are in the same investing journey as I am, and uh, we're really transparent with one another. That's why I also like the group that I'm in, and I'm transparent with you guys, right? So I have in the private portfolio is like some of these names, but I have more shares of them. Obviously, this is just what it is. But I'm also in like baby products, beauty products like Elf Beauty, Honest Company, which is Honest is like, I don't know right now. Let me tell you, but I bought Honest when it's 2.02 per share, $2 per. Let's look at Robinhood. Give me a sec. But this is what I mean about diversity, right? Uh, the Honest Company. So it's $3.41 today. And guys, if whoever watches the video and I've told you about Honest Company, comment, like. I mean, hit the like button, subscribe if you need to. But let me know in the chat, like, hey, Jeremy, you told me about Honest. I'm in Honest, right? So I bought it at 2.02, right? Let's see if the Morningstar has a rating with them on here. So no rating again because no one's done a rating. But so diversity is key in a portfolio to, so when there's a recession, when there's an issue like war and political blah blah blah, your portfolio is built to guard the crazy of inflation, crazy of this. So when it dips, it doesn't dip that hard because of your diverse portfolio, right? Your ETFs, your beauty products, your sectors, your tech. Because what happens when there's all this bad noise going out is that tech gets hit the hardest. And if you heard that loud snore or grunt or breathing, that's Pedro, my French bulldog, who's also from Dubai. His family member. So remember that, get a good portfolio up and running. If you're new to the game, if any of these videos have helped you so far or guide you, just mention that, hey, Jeremy, you're doing a cool thing. And it gives me a little ammunition to keep on going, right? Or the adrenaline keeps me like putting these out. And I know the engagement is, there's something working for someone out there, right? On that note, make it happen, own it. Peace, one love.